Hey everyone, this is Chris Crazyhouse, back with some Chris Crazy commentary, and today I wanted to talk a little bit about what I think will be the future of anime in this country. So, there's been a lot of news lately about companies buying a lot of things up. There's been a lot of news of American animation companies saying that they're going to produce their own versions of anime. So I want to talk a little bit about that in this video. Before I do that, as always, let me say, if you want to support the channel, you can become a Patreon of Chris Crazyhouse. There are 3 tiers that you can enjoy. You can become a Patreon for $5. In that $5 tier, you can get exclusive coloring pages or artwork that you can post to your desktop, your laptop, or on your mobile device. You can get the next tier, $8, and you can get exclusive clip art, or you can get the final tier, which I believe is $10 a month, and that will contain game assets as well as art and animation lessons exclusively to that Patreon. And there's a lot of great content on there now, so you can go and become a Patreon at your leisure as soon as possible or just whenever. Hop on the Patreon and become a Patreon of Chris Crazyhouse. And thank you to those who have done so already. You could also purchase my products, comic books, coloring books, stickers, and posters at my online store. I'm going to be uploading some new posters pretty soon for the fall, so be on the lookout for that. The links for my Patreon and online stores will be in the description box and the comment section. So, let's move on to talking about the future or the possible future of anime. Obviously, I am not a wizard with a crystal ball or anything, so I can't officially predict anything, but I'm just going based on what I've seen so far and my experiences in the animation industry. So, one of the bigger news stories that came out over the last month was that Crunchyroll was purchased from AT&T by Sony. And Sony already has control over Funimation as well. So you have these 2 large anime providers here in the West, and they've been taken over by Sony here in the West. So this could be considered a bad thing when you think about any type of large corporation getting control of so many different properties at one time, or some one major distribution hub. That could be a problem, because then that company's corporate people, they'll be able to dictate what's proper, what's appropriate, what should be seen here. It will not be a free-for-all, and you will not get as much diversity. When I say diversity, I mean like different subject matters or different kinds of anime shown to you here. I'm not talking about diversity as like characters or whatever. In fact, that could be a problem if they start mandating that the cartoons are more diverse, even though these cartoons are supposedly produced by people from a very specific society. So this could be a problem if you have Sony at the top with their hand on the valve, and they control what type of animation comes over here. That could be a problem. Now, I think what could actually help in that regard is maybe all the good anime will go underground again like it was in the 90s. I remember, as I've said before, when anime was not as popular as it is now. And in my opinion, we were able to find things that we were able to latch on to. Some things were better quality, some weren't, but you got different subject matters. I noticed once anime became popular, we were only able to get certain types of content here when it came to Japanese animation. They all seem to follow a certain formula. They all seem to follow a certain format. The characters all seem to bleed together. It all became pretty much that whole Shonen Jump mindset of animation. You could almost predict where the story was going, what was going to happen this season, whatever. There was always a tournament season. There was always your main protagonist that that appealed to an American audience more so than a Japanese audience, to the point where you wonder how this is even a Japanese character when it acts so American in its inception and its concept. You know, so that's what we've got more of now, and even the style of a lot of these animes that come over here now, based on what these major companies think people want, it becomes very one homogenized glob of the same thing. You know, I remember watching anime in the 90s, and there were anime that had different styles. Bio Booster Armor Guyver style was different from Fist of the North Star. That Ninja Scroll style from Madhouse Studios was different from watching like Ranma 1/2 or Dragon Ball Z. The style that was portrayed in Akira was way different than what you would see in the Street Fighter animated movie or Fatal Fury. So there were different styles that you could that you might like more than others, or you just had a variety of things that you could look at and enjoy. Now all of it seems to be the same thing, and depending on what the genre is, you might actually literally be getting almost the same story over and over again. But they think that's what American audiences like, so let's just keep shipping that to them. So that could be a problem. It might be a blessing and a curse. You might just start getting all the same thing, even more so, from these major companies. And the good stuff might be underground or online. At least you have the internet. So with the internet, you'll be able to find things a lot easier. But you might, as far as someone who likes mainstream anime or will just depend on getting stuff on a mainstream basis, you might just be getting more of the same over and over again. Likewise, another great news story that came out was that I believe it was Warner Brothers through Cartoon Network says they're going to be doing their own anime, quote unquote. Now, for those who even know what the word anime means, it's not possible for Warner Brothers or Cartoon Network to produce their own anime because they're not a Japanese studio. It's not Japanese animation. But I think if they're going to produce something that they consider anime here, then it's really going to be watered down and bland and not interesting whatsoever. I mean, just look at the stuff that's been produced by Netflix. If you want a vision of the future of what Warner Brothers or Cartoon Network anime is going to be, look at some of the stuff that's been produced by Netflix. A lot of it's not good at all. You might find a few bright spots here or there, like that Ashura fight animation or whatever. But if you look around, for the most part, the stuff that they put out is just not good at all. And even with Crunchyroll, they claim that they're going to be creating anime here in the West. That new thing that they've created, I don't know if you've seen the trailers for it, called High Guardian Spice. That looks like trash. There's another one called, what's it called, X-Arms or something like that. It's like a 3D mixed with 2D animation anime made here in the West. That's horrible. Like, there are whole videos, people are watching it and reacting to it and making fun of it about how bad the animation is. But I worry that that's what's going to become the norm as far as quote-unquote American-style anime. It's an embarrassment. Like, I don't even think Americans should jump into that at all. There was a good thing and a good line between American animation and animation produced in Japan. Just keep it that way. There's nothing wrong with that. It's great to have that variety, but these major corporations keep getting control of these animation, and it all becomes one thing. Like, we're all tired of the Cal art style of animation, or what some people call the Tumblr style of animation, like Adventure Time, Steven Universe, and all that other stuff, which wasn't bad at first. But now everything looks like that. Even this so-called Crunchyroll anime produced here in the West, High Guardian Spice, looks like that She-Ra show that came on Netflix not too long ago. So that's what I'm saying. All these things seem to have the same style, the same plot elements. Everything is clean and sanitized. They push all these, they have all these check boxes of this character has to be this color, this character has to be this sexuality, has to be diverse. No, the whole plot and story and being unique as far as the storytelling, that's dead last in the development of these shows now. Now it's all about, you gotta have this character, this character, this character, this character, and it's all gotta be about this. Good writing has gone completely out the window. It's all about certain styles and pushing politics. And we all know, like I've told you guys a million times on this channel, about these Puritans out here who have a problem with anime anyway. They don't like girls being drawn in a sexy way. They don't like fan service. They don't like anything that has to do with portraying any type of female in an attractive manner. So we're going to be getting more of characters, I guess, that are just excuse me, over sanitized, and there's going to be nothing fun about them whatsoever. And so that's why I'm thinking that anything that's going to be worth watching or entertaining from Japan, we're going to have to look online to find that. So find your resources, if you have any online resources of underground anime or anime straight from Japan that hasn't even been translated, and look up stuff that way, because otherwise you're not going to see anything decent over here. So that's what I think the future of anime is going to be. It's going to the major corporations are taking it over here, and they're going to push their agendas on in these cartoons. The newer ones are going to be trash. You're not going to really find any merit in any of them. And if you want anything of any type of substance or anything different from what the mainstream is pushing, you're going to have to go online or go back to bootlegging DVDs or downloading stuff online to get any type of anime with any real entertainment value. You folks let me know how you feel about it in the comment section. Anyway, Chris Crazyhouse signing out. Peace.